Welcome to our Lionsgate celebration today. We're so excited to have everybody here and to talk about what's going on in the energy and how to amplify that energy and also how to amplify it alongside our pets. Because just as today's portal energy is really powerful for amplification, so is the energy of our pets as portals. And the love that we have, whether it's for our pets or animals in the wild, really does help us access some deeper realms, knowings, and understandings. And that's what we're here to do here today. So before we get started, I just want to introduce myself to those who don't know me. My name is Denise Mange, and I'm a certified dog trainer, pet intuitive, eternal pet groupie, and founder of Pet Prana. And so what I do is I combine traditional aspects of training, living with, and connecting with our pets with more of the energetic considerations of what's going on, more broadly in our community, in our cosmos, and with us. Because when we vibe higher, so do our pets, and they pick up on our energy just as we pick up on theirs. So before we go any further, I absolutely want Gretchen to introduce herself as well. She reached out to me, a lover of kind of the Lionsgate portal, and she said, can we collaborate and do something for the pet parents in our pack? And I said, oh my gosh, I would love to. And here we are today. So today would not be possible without Gretchen. Thank you so much for kind of giving us the nudge to do this together. And so if you could introduce yourself and maybe even talk a little bit about Lionsgate and what excites you about it so much.
Thanks, Denise. I super appreciate that. Hi, I know many of you and some that I don't, and I'm going to just be admitting people while I'm talking. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Gretchen, and I'm an integral sound practitioner. I'm a certified animal acupressurist. I work with animals and people because I feel like it's a team. It's a whole huge pack. And I met Denise a couple of years ago, and it was a good timing because it was when I was going through some challenges with my mom's dog, Samson, which those of you who know me are familiar with that. So it's been really lovely to get to know Denise, and we have a lot of all of our philosophies are really the same when it comes to animals and people and energy and connection and intuition. So it's a little bit about me, and I work with sound quite a bit. I found it to be very powerful modality, not just for people, but for animals. But for me, I find when I can fall into a calm, neutral, 0-point space, that's when we have sleeping dogs behind us. My dog Apple, who's very high energy, just falls into the flow and relaxes. So yay. So I reached out because Lionsgate, I love the energy. I love its connection to 8. It's actually a window of time, but today is said to be the portal opening day. So the 8th of August, so we've got all of these beautiful 8s that are tied to infinity and divine light and abundance. And so the Lionsgate for me has been this time of, for me, I've been feeling a lot of high energy, just really filled with energetics. It's a time that sometimes stuff from the past may come up and sort of smack you in the face as a reminder of how to be a better human and how to grow and evolve. So it's kind of like the full moon shining light on you and saying, whoa, okay, good. Yeah, that's something I can really work on. And we did just have the full moon a couple of days ago that coincides with this beautiful day. So that in itself makes it a little bit more powerful. But I also love that it's tied to Egypt because I just love the whole Egyptian tie and the mythology. And I feel like we all in our DNA have a huge connection to Egypt and what went on many thousands, millions of years ago, the pyramids and etc. And so it's really, the gateway is this alignment between Earth and Sirius, which is our dog star, which connects to our animals and our pets, which is really fantastic. And it's just a great time to kind of anchor in, allow a download, if you will, of information and ascension codes, bright energy, higher energy to expand our consciousness, and as well as reminding us of our connection to the stars and the past, the present, and the future coming together as sort of one point in the present moment. So I love how it's a blending of spirituality, science of the astronomy, of the divine. It's just a really, for me, a fantastic time. So,
and I love that you say that. I love that you talk about our connection to the stars, about, the star alignment, our Sirius star, which is one of my favorites, obviously, because it is that dog
star.
And so it is, that intensified energy. And so today's Lionsgate carries, the power of the cosmic alignment of the stars, and as it is perceived here on Earth from our perspective. And, Gretchen also hit on this, it carries that powerful energy of the amplified eights, that 8-8. August is the 8th month of the year, and we're in the 8th day of the month. And so just speaking more generally about portals, we have portals all over. There's a lot of portals in nature. There's, the portals of cosmic alignments like today. There's the energy of numbers, right? So 8-8 is a powerful portal, as is 9-9, September 9th, as is 11-11, which is a huge one, November 11th. And then we have 12-12, December 12th. So numbers are powerful portals as well. Beyond that, we have energetic portals created by ley lines. We have portal energy around symbols, around shapes, around, written light language, if you're familiar with that, and that's something that speaks to your heart. And so beyond all that in nature, our animal companions serve as powerful portals as well to help us kind of undergo more expansion through discovery and playful energy, and really access deeper understandings, knowings, and truths. And so, our pets can serve as portals, and they kind of do double time because they've also been preparing us for all this portal energy that we're undergoing right now. They prepare us for portal energy and to access new realms through their vibration, right? When they vibe higher and they hold a higher vibration within their frequency, we're able to match that vibration and tap into it. Think about, even when we just think about an animal companion, our vibration rises automatically because our heart just expands. They've also been preparing us to go through portals and travel through different realms through their behavior. As much as sometimes their barking, their chewing, their nipping can be, a little triggering for us, they're doing that to help us move past old triggers, old wounds, old ideas, patterns, beliefs. They help us move past a worldview that maybe we held up to this point, but we don't need it anymore as we vibrate higher. So they've really been helping us prepare for these wonderful portal energies so we can fully expand into them. So today we're going to leverage our pets as well as today's Lionsgate portal energy. And so we're going to go on a beautiful meditation, and we're going to go to a particular realm, which is the Akashic realm today. That's where we're going to take you through. And it's interesting because as we were talking about today's event and we're tapping into things, of course, we knew it was Lionsgate portal, so there was the important of the stars. We knew that there was that 8 energy, the vibration of 8 with, August and August 8th. And so numerology is something that's so interesting to me because 8, if you think about it, if you look at it, it's infinity, right? It looks like an infinity sign. And if you see 2 8s side by side, it almost looks like 2 alternate realities going on at the same time. What our animals companion teach us is in these 2 realities, we can jump through and go through each, right? They're not linear, they're interconnected. And when we get at these points with this portal energy, this energy gets closer side by side. The veil gets a little less between the 2. So these are moments where we're really able to jump from one reality into another, from one realm into the other, from one timeline into the other. And so in order to fully understand that, our animal companions and kind of our guides wanted to take us on this guided meditation to the Akashic realm. And so there's a lot of information about the Akashic realm out there. And, you know, there's a lot of different, you might have gone through journeys to the Akashic realm yourself. You might have gone through a practitioner. And up until this point, it's been used broadly to kind of understand our past lives, you know, what happened that is informing everything going through today for us. But what our animal companions are inviting us to do today is to go in, not as a tourist, to go in understanding that we are co-creators of this library, that we're the authors of our own life, that our narrative that we're living today has been written by the most beautiful and poetic aspect of our souls. So as we take you through this guided meditation today, enter the Akashic realm, not looking for the past to understand what happened, what's kind of informing behavior today. Look at it as, this is my creation. And when I open a book and I see a golden script light up, whether it's in English, whether it's in hieroglyphics, whether it's in light language, you'll just know that you wrote this story and that you are part of the narrative. And they want you to leave empowered, feeling that you have choice points, that you, not only do you have choices, you are creating these choices and these new possibilities. And in this energy, we're able to really weave in those new timelines and understandings into this current one. So that's just a little bit to give your logical mind something to hold on to. What we're going to do is hop into the meditation, but before we do, we just want to outline some caveats of what to expect. So on this journey, we're going to invite you to choose an animal companion to go alongside you guys with this journey. It might be an animal companion that is with you right now. It could be an animal companion that transitioned, or it could be an animal in the wild. Just choose any animal that's kind of speaking to your heart and try to zero in on a memory, on an emotion, on kind of a visual of this animal that kind of expands your heart with love. That's the access point for us to journey through the portal and get to the Akashic realm. I'm also going to ask you guys to take a moment and set an intention for the journey. So I'm going to have you pick an animal companion to join you, and then I'm going to have you set an intention. So whether it's understanding your animal companion's behavior a bit more thoroughly, whether it's understanding a different relationship or dynamic in your life, maybe it's trying to understand the bigger picture and the purpose of it all and how it ties together to weave a beautiful timeline. Whatever your intention is, just take a moment to breathe into it and set it. Great. And so once we start the meditation, you are going to be surrounded by a safe bubble of light, and you guys are going to travel along a light path and land in the Akashic realm, where Lion is going to be joining us and walking us through the experience and accompanying us. So we'll have a few different animal energies. You might encounter other energies along the way. And Gretchen has prepared some beautiful music. So in the beginning, you'll hear me guiding us. And then there's going to be a long period of music that Gretchen has prepared, some beautiful sounds and tones. And then at the end, it's going to be me talking again. And then we'll come back, ground back in, and then we'll be able to take some notes on our journey and then do a live share, because we do want to hear about the experience as well. So just a couple notes. Remember to hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Even though we're not running a marathon, this big energy tends to consume a lot of water. So make sure that you have water next to you. If you feel guided during the journey to kind of get up and dance or move around, feel free to do so. Just be careful, because sometimes the sounds bring us into a little bit of an altered state. So just, you know, be aware of your surroundings. Please, please, please be discerning of anything. If you're uncomfortable in any point of the process, you can always just kind of wrap it up for yourself and take a few deep breaths and ground back into your body. You are an expert. You know what's comfortable and what works for you and what doesn't. Remember, after this, give yourself time and space to process. So a little bit of self-care after this. You know, sometimes these meditations bring up big emotions, big memories, big ahas. So make sure that you are not only giving yourself some time and space to process and be gentle with yourself, but we're doing the same for anyone who joined us in the meditation, including our animal companions. Feel free to, you know, if you want to get off camera because you're self-conscious, you can, deactivate your camera, or, old school, what I used to do is just get a piece of paper and plop it over the camera, and that way it's blocked and you don't have to play with buttons. Letty's is like, me too, I hear ya. So unless anything else that I forgot, Gretchen, we'll get started on our journey soon. Any other points?
No, I think we are good to go. Just make sure that you've got your headphones and that you are in a relaxed and comfortable position. So you're just going to be completely allowing yourself to surrender to this journey. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'll just give you 1 or 2 minutes to settle in, and I have everybody on mute. So, all right, perfect. So cameras off. Here's the journey. And we are going to go ahead and get started.
Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Feel yourself settling into your body. Now see yourself standing in a wide open space. It might be a beach. It might be an open field. It might be an open and airy room. Your animal companion, or even companions plural, join you by your side, just to the right of you. Now look down to the ground and see a translucent, opalescent plasma, as if a sparkly overlay, and it's spreading out beneath your feet. Slowly and mindfully raise each of your arms as you move to place both your hands over your heart. And as you raise your arms, reaching your hands to your heart, that opalescent plasma follows their motion, rising up around you, creating an energetic bubble around you and your animal companion. You slowly look above your head, and as you do, you see that opalescent, translucent plasma coming up behind you to merge in front of you, so that a protective and nurturing bubble is surrounding you and your animal companion. You feel safe, loved, and immersed in your own energy. With one finger, you gently reach out and you touch the bubble in front of you, and you watch as it shimmers and ripples with sparkles of pale pink, pale blue, pale purple, and silvery gold. And it makes you smile as you place your hand back over your heart. That joyful energy that you share with your animal companion fills every space in your body as well as this bubble. Now close your mind's eye as your hands remain on your chest. And as you gaze ahead, you see a path of bright energy light up in front of you in a straight line. You anchor deeply into your heart, holding a memory or energetic remembrance of you and your animal companion. And breathe into that memory. And as you do, you begin to feel a gentle reverberation as your body vibrates at the higher frequency of love. And you begin to feel a gentle forward motion. You feel both you and your animal companion float along the light path in front of you, slowly at first, then gaining momentum. You're not afraid, as you know the energy propelling you is your own heart with your higher self overseeing every step of the way. There's an excitement and giddiness, and a joyful anticipation as if you were on a roller coaster or being lifted by a wave. Now you start slowing down until you come to a full stop. And as you open your mind's eye, you know that you have arrived at your destination, the Akashic realm. The bubble of light around you begins to dissipate, and you and your animal companion take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and immediately recognize the smell of marble, wooden shelves, and books in the air. You recognize the air of discovery, exploration, and co-creation that is palpable. As you look around you, you're surrounded by endless rows of books, each its own bar of rich color within a linear tapestry of vibrant tones and patterns that you intuitively know how to navigate. You are immediately drawn to one of the shelves, and you and your animal companion make your way toward it. You marvel at how large each volume on the shelf is, but how weightless it feels in your hands. As you open the book and flip through the pages, you smell the wonderfully musty smell that holds the essence of ancient truths and knowledge. You admire the golden script. No matter what page you turn to, the golden script populates in real time, providing just the insight you need most to understand the broader context and story of your life. You feel a presence, and as you look up from the wonderfully hypnotic pages of your book, Lion appears at your right and beckons you to explore the library with its many books, shelves, and sacred nooks and crannies. And you do, knowing that as you explore each area in the space and volume of leather-bound books, you will find aspects of yourself that require love, healing, and compassion. You will see aspects of yourself you never thought you could be that are brilliant and ancient. You may encounter animal guides, plant guides, or even fairy guides along the way, knowing that they are all walking alongside you, helping you understand what no longer serves you, and remembering wisdom and aspects of yourself that are ready to fill that space you create by letting go. Lion asks you what you are here to retrieve, know, observe, witness, or understand. And without words and without thought, your intention is conveyed. And in the energy, Lion communicates, it is so. Now go and explore in beauty with an open heart. Explore freely and follow the energy until you hear 3 chimes beckoning you back for our return. Receive what this realm wants to share with you. Accept what you've learned and what you are ready to release with gratitude. Know that you are worthy of the gifts you are receiving from yourself, your guides, and the universe. Now you find yourself at the same place where you started your journey. Lion is there alongside you, as is your animal companion and any other guides that accompanied you on this journey. You look at each of them, sharing reciprocal gratitude, and each of your hearts light up with the deep bond and connection you share. You place your hands over your heart, anchoring in that vibration and frequency of eternal and divine love. Still with your mind's eye closed, you feel, know, sense that beautiful translucent bubble of opalescent light is forming around you and your animal companion once again, forming a protective shield. And it's time to return to the present, to the now, to this current reality. But you know that you will not be returning the same, as this journey shed light on the true essence of your being to help you understand that you are whole, complete, abundant, connected, and safe. You start to feel that familiar reverberation in your body and forward motion. The path of light is once again lit up in front of you, and it's time to return. You feel the momentum building, slow at first, then gaining speed. Allow old energies to separate from you and be left in this realm to be transmuted into light. See sparkly, new, higher vibrational energies wash over you and fill any space you've created in your body and energetic field by letting go. The blurred bright lights around you are slowing down and forming back into the familiar shapes, colors, and forms of your current reality. You are back in the now, in your home, in your neighborhood, in your embodiment. And as you open your eyes, the opalescent bubble around you dissipates, and you breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth, tuning into the familiar smells and sensations. And now, the journey is complete. The animals thank you for going on this journey and anchoring in higher vibrations for yourself and for them as well. Namaste.
So just take a moment to be in the energy and maybe jot down anything that came through. We're just going to be wiggling back into our bodies.
So when you guys are ready, you can come back to the screen and turn on your video. Just take your time though. Just making note of any observations or intuitions or feelings. And when you're ready, you can turn your camera back on and we have some time just to share the experience if you wish. And if you really just feel like you fell into it and you need to just gently drop off, that's perfectly fine as well. No rules.
So feel into it. If you felt maybe more into that vibration of 8, that abundance, the karmic tie, kind of the infinite possibilities, or maybe some of those aspects of as above, so below. I wonder who maybe felt more into the infinity energy, that energy of the multiverses, timelines kind of weaving in and out. Or maybe you tapped in more into that lion energy, of beautiful leadership. So take a few more minutes to jot anything down. And then Gretchen, how do we do Q&A? Do folks raise their hand, or if they just start speaking, they light up?
Yeah, we can totally do that. Well, usually it works pretty good. People aren't speaking on each other. I think just have somebody wants to just even physically raise their hand to share, that will work as well. And if you're not speaking, I was just going to add, if you're not talking, just to mute so that we don't have too much overlap. So, Sunny, I'm just so curious if you want to share. I knew you.
Before we jump right in, just one caveat before I share, just to honor the energy we're in and the meditation. You know, we definitely want to hear about, you know, your experience, and if you have any questions, we are happy to field them or feel into anything for you. One request is that we keep the questions more to the journey and the experience, and less so towards kind of training questions, because I know those tend to come up, because we really want to stay in this expansive energy of the journey.
Absolutely. Yes. I was hoping for more kind of like what you felt. And Sunny, I just know that you had something to share. I can feel it.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you both for such a beautiful way for me, since I'm in Arizona, start my day and be part of this. So thank you for inviting me, Gretchen, and very lovely to meet you, Denise. It was just really beautiful. I was on a beach, and it was interesting because I landed in sort of this lush forest with a waterfall. And when you had asked about the books, I just saw the bookshelves like right there in the forest with me, you know. That was really cool. And there was a lion there, and I have had a lot of animal pets in my life, and they came back and they were on the journey with me. But I couldn't bring in my own animal edge at the beginning. He was busy dealing with other stuff in the house or whatever. But he came in at a certain point in the middle of it, and he just had to be in the room. So he's in with me now, and he's just laying next to me. And he often sees guides because he'll just stare into space, you know. So he's looking around and he's intent, and he sees some guides. I think for me, I'm going through a transition in my life that will be happening within the next few, maybe probably by early 2021. And so I got the message of abundance and not to worry, it's going to unfold fine, because I feel like the assignment that I'm on right now is kind of winding down for me, and that there's another one coming, and I don't have to worry. I just trust. I know it's going to unfold, and right now is preparation time for me, just to go with the flow, be present, not to worry about it. The universe and my higher power has the future. Just to stay present, to heal, to focus on me, and to be disciplined and to take care of myself. So those were some of the messages that I got. And also I have spirit guides that came with me. It was just really beautiful. So thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. You know, Sunny, when you shared that transition, it was just a big light. I electrified. I can feel into that with you. It's just
your light went on behind you.
That's Ernie. That's still Ernie light. It's like, hi, Sunny.
Hi, Ernie.
One thing really interesting in hearing, Sunny, is, when your dog's name is Edge, is that right?
Yes.
I love that name. He's very much your protector, and energy has to go through him to get to you. He's very adamant about that. So as you were kind of doing your thing and going on your journey, he was back home on the home front. He was cleaning up some leftover energy, especially by what they're showing is like the front foyer. He was cleaning some stuff up so that that could just be resolved and let go.
Cool.
And it's beautiful that you're in this transitional moment, because the jungle, as much as it even started with you knowing to put that background for Zoom, just the nutrient rich soil and the roots and, the canopy of the nurturing of the jungle and how fertile it is, that is where you are in life. And that's why you feel that association, that connection. I would even, one thing that's interesting, I'm Brazilian, and Amazon energy speaks to you. The colorful parrots and macaws come through.
I had a parrot.
Oh,
The parrot came. Peachy was her name. It was my mother's parrot, and I inherited her.
Beautiful. And you may even consider, as you embark on this, if you haven't yet, some plant experimentation, whether it's ayahuasca or something a bit more gentle, but that could be a really cool thing to really allow those roots to take in and those leaves to go higher, because sometimes our logical state kind of keeps us to a certain level. And this is really a time, as you said, to transcend and go bigger. So very cool. I love all that jungle energy. I feel like I'm at home when I tap in.
Thank you. And last thing is I want to say that my next assignment, as I like to put it, is either with pets or with people that are in a tough place, like rescue or, but I feel like it's different. It's not the typical rescue, that there's something else there coming, which I'm fine. It's not here yet. It's not supposed to be.
What the word that comes through is rehabilitation. So it's not so much working with people in rescue who it's like, oh, I rescued them, I'm having behavioral issues, or I'm trying to save them. You're not going to work with people who are doing the saving old dynamic. It's about the rehabilitation and kind of reforestation.
Yes.
Is the vibe that you're going to be bringing to that work. So that's awesome.
Love it. And by the way, just so you know, this is a tree from Hawaii.
Oh,
I love the background. It's just, you merge right with it.
It's a beautiful tree. I love it.
Thank you, Sunny.
Thank you. Thank you both.
So who else would like to share their experience? Belinda.
yeah.
Thank you for everything. The guidance, Denise, was beautiful. I loved the little bells in the background. Those little those are so perfect to take you on a journey. And Gretchen, the whole transmission I completely went out, but it was so deep and powerful and soothing and nurturing. I can't tell you how healing it was. At the beginning, it was kind of really fun and playful, and I had fairies and my unicorn and my little doggies. But then, and when we got to the library, and you said musty or something, I'm like, oh no, these aren't musty. These are sparkly, luminescent books. So it was funny that it was really kind of all glowing still. And I got some codes. I got a 22. I have, and they're part of my codes too, which is grace. I can't remember all of them, but the embodiment of those codes came through. 55 is abundance, 22 is grace, and 25 is innocence, right? So that was fun. And then I kind of settled into the the deepness. What I was calling in was oneness and deepness and connecting, because I've been really trying to balance, the divine feminine and the masculine, and get rid of all the mental interference with what's going on. And Denise knows I've had some health challenges, and I saw two snakes yesterday. So of course I had to look up the damn snakes. Thank you to the snakes. I love the snakes. I say damn with all loving intent. And again, it's like shedding my skin and opening up to something new. and it still is really challenging. But I'm really in a place of honoring everything that's going on now. And what Sunny said really also resonated is that it's really, for me right now, is such a big transition, and I'm not even really feeling like I'm being called to do much, but just to take care of myself and have a lot of trust and faith and presence through it, because it's been really hard. When you have, like, I have whatever it's called, poison oak all over me, to, you know, stay in presence when you're like itching and uncomfortable all the time. So it's been super challenging. But the snakes were sweet that they showed up yesterday, because that was like, oh my God. And I almost stepped on both of them. One was already dead, but but that was funny. So thank you both. I think that I'm complete. It was also about opening up and really staying in my heart and kind of letting go of all the mental figuring everything out, because the bumps help. You know, the bumps kind of put me in a space of like, oh, I've got to figure this out. I've got to figure this out. But Denise, if my body has any guidance on how I can move through this.
It does, as you might imagine. Okay, so much coming through with you. I just love how attuned you are to the environment, everything going on. And also, you are so graceful and beautiful with the shadow animals, between alligators in Florida and snakes in Colorado. Good Lord, you accept them, you're open to the messages, and I love it. So a few things came in. The first thing with 22, that is the number of self-love, self-care, building new foundations with those that are based in self-care. So with those boundaries in place. The other thing that came through, as you said, 22, was a beautiful visual and two swans side by side swimming in a pond. So what your guides are saying is you're not going through this alone. They are by you. And I believe, I don't know if this is true, but the vibe that I get is swans mate for life type energy. So it's like this love affair that you have with your guides, with your support. And as you look at two, it does look like, you know, two swans. And it always reminds me of grandmother energy too. So the grandmothers are there supporting you, that beautiful maternal line and that divine feminine, and the wisdom of the matriarchy is alongside you in its levity, not in the heaviness of it at all. Healing, shedding of skin. What they're saying is look at the poison oak and find where on your body it is, and look at the themes that are assigned to those chakras in particular, or over those areas of your body. So they're really asking you right now to tie back into your body. With the fairy energy you have, with the explorer that you are, it's really hard for you to feel that you're in a container. They're saying that part of it is there's this internal battle going on with your body about, but I'm a big expansive soul, I want to go explore all these things. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck in this body. They're saying fall back in love with your body. Fall back in love with the, you know, the things that your body can do for you, the dancing, the playing, the moving, and really getting back to that spot is what they're saying. Because although you love journeying and you're great at being in the etheric realms, they need you to come back and be comfortable in your skin. You know, if you go back to healing with chakras, the third chakra has to do with allergies and things bubbling up on our skin. So go back to all of those themes. And 22, the balance, right, between being free versus being quote unquote tied down, or that perception. So it's all about changing perception of your body as you heal and you create these new foundations. And Gretchen, I don't know if you were feeling into any of those vibrations too.
Yeah, it's interesting that the shedding of the skin, that, but feeling like you don't have any boundaries. So there's this fear. So I really saw like this, like a blanket coming over you, like a cocoon. And to me, that's really like self-care and honoring your body. And because you do have that within you, to keep yourself with a beautiful boundary. And so it's kind of like feeling like you're leaking into the world, if that's the only way I can really put it. So to really honor yourself and know that you have, it's my light flicking off, that you have that within you. So the somatic, the dancing, breathing, going down. I would even imagine going down into this big fire center of your belly and really allowing yourself to be with that yellow sun, your solar sun.
Beautiful.
Thank you both. That was really helpful. I know that, yeah, and I do dance every day in the morning. But yes, there's a lot I can do and a lot that my body wants me to do. So
Yeah, it's with all of us. So
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Belinda.
Thank you. It was so beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
lovely hearing from you. Yay.
Too.
Does
Thank you, Denise.
anyone else out there want to pop in and share?
Hello,
Amy.
this is Kim.
Oh,
Oh.
Kim, Amy.
I'm sorry, I can wait.
No, go ahead. You go, and then Amy, you jump in after Kim.
I invited my two dogs. I don't know if they came though. I was kind of like following the story and with the lion and that stuff, and then it made me feel real relaxed and real at peace. And then the music came on, and that was relaxing. And then I found myself, my brain started like, I should have did this, or this person should do this, or oh, and they did this, and then it's like, be quiet, go back to the music, and just relax. So I'm like in and out. So I enjoyed the music and just laying there and just trying to focus.
So
But I don't
Kim,
remember.
I was going to add super quickly when you mentioned that trying to focus and so just to keep in mind for future, our thoughts are going to flow in and out and they're going to be there. And so to just let go of that and say, okay, I'm thinking. Yep, there's a thought. Hello, thought. And we can find that lowers our resistance. So I just wanted to add that for future. There's no rules or judgment or labels. It's just a point of observation. So,
Okay,
And
thank you.
one thing that came through that was really interesting, and I relate to you. I have very active seventh chakra as well. So a couple things that they wanted to bring through for you. Part of you being feeling so peaceful in the beginning and going through this is because you are very at peace with who you are and how you navigate through life. Your animal companions are always by you. It doesn't feel like they're transitioned. It feels like they're still there, but their energy, even when you're not home, is very attached to you because they too benefit from that kind of calm nature that you bring to it all. So sometimes when they're that attached to us, it almost feels like they're not joining us because they're always with us. We don't know what the absence of feels like, if that makes sense. So it never feels like they're joining us because they're always with us. One thing that's really interesting that they were kind of bringing through is a pattern of you censoring yourself. There's something so powerful about your knowing and your voice. And because you think you need to fit into kind of like the cookie cutter, how people say things ought to be, whether it's during meditation or whatever, you censor your own voice. And when you censor your own voice, it becomes a situation where it's not amplified out when you need it to be amplified because it's so used to you telling it it's going to censor itself. So part of what happens during meditation is your mind goes because it's bringing together the puzzle pieces like a beautiful mind. So maybe just listen, try, either letting the thought go, but also try just listening to it. And what I like to do when you have a really active seventh chakra is I literally move things. So if I have a thought, I'll be like, okay, you go there. And then the next thought, you go here, you go here. And then that way your mind can visually map what it needs to map and you can see the big picture. So I would say kind of embrace those thoughts. In the replay, we're going to be sending out, we're going to be sending out an email link with the replay. And in the replay, there'll be just the meditation as an audio file. feel free to click on that and go back on the journey. And I think for you in particular, the Akashic Library is interesting because it does have all those puzzle pieces. So you can see books light up that would be in accordance to your thoughts. So kind of go with that seventh chakra energy and those thoughts and kind of follow them, because your voice and your knowing is powerful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kim. Amy, did you want to share?
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for that. It was beautiful. And so when we were, getting in the library, and my library was very, rich, old school, wooden, beautiful, all that, and leathers. But, I'm looking at my book and I'm sitting here thinking of like my intention of sort of like my life and where I want to be. And I had, it was like, put your hand on the book. And I had like this bright light in my like heart, I guess. And then the light like shot through my arm, through my hand. And then the book just like lit up, and I heard an audible crackle. And it was like, you write your story. Like, you're the creator. You write the story. And it was like the story was being filled in. And it was really cool. And then, but I'm like looking at my book, like in this very like beautiful, old, very nice, lovely thing. But my book is all pink glitter and sparkle and did not match at all. And it was like, you look at the library, there's all these books and they're all truth, but just like any library, certain books resonate with certain people. Like some people like romance, or some like nonfiction, but they're all true. But your book is going to resonate with certain people, and that's okay, And then things got pretty weird from there, because like I had this like ET looking kind of being come up behind me and like pulled me up into the rafters, and then it was no more the library. It was just like stars and weirdness, and it was like I always say, you don't have to have the walls being a metaphor for your self-limiting beliefs. It was like, ooh, I have that, right? And so it was sort of like, pull yourself up into the rafters, look up, you're limitless, right? And so it kind of gave me a visual to help me get past that walls that I'm putting myself in.
I love that. I'm so excited you said that, Amy, because the second you were talking about your hand and the light, and even just second I tapped into you, that's your light language coming through. So I don't know if you draw light language yet, or if you sign it or signal it, but that's usually the first start. And then it comes, if you decide you do want to speak it, it comes more naturally that way. But for you, the kind of signing it or drawing it, and it's going to feel like scribbles. But look into light language, man alive, that is ready to just burst through you. I love that you saw that ET presence. That was what they were showing me is the Andromedans. So you have a big connection right now to Andromeda consciousness, and they are very connected with plants and crystals as well. So tap into that, learn as much as you can. I love a good Google search because it's a great way for the universe to communicate with you and bring in the information that you need. But your light language is really just emanating from you. And that's part of why sometimes it feels like you want to go home, because you're like, oh, I'm homesick, but I'm home. Like, I don't get it. It's right now, especially in these kind of portals and gateways, the star seeds are waking up. All that galactic energy is really closer. The veil is thin, and they're really coming and connecting with us, and you're feeling that energy. So that is amazing.
Well, it's so funny that you mentioned the going home, because Amy, I was seeing you on a bike looking off into the distance at like the palace, the Wizard of Oz, there it is right there. And you're on your bike and you're like, how do I get there? How do I get there? And so when Denise is like this going home, it's this understanding that you are already, I mean, it sounds cliche, but you are already home. And so understanding that and really feeling into that energy, and not having to like, it's not out there. You already have it, sister.
And I love that you say that, Gretchen, because, one of the things I offer is a course called Pets as Portals. And as I was creating it, they were very adamant, the galactic consciousness that helped me create it, the animal companions that helped me create it, that when we journey, we're not going up and out, especially like when we think of like spaceships, we're actually going within. All the universe, multiverse realms, they all live within us. We are the expanse. So Gretchen, that was a really beautiful thing to highlight there, so we remember that.
I'm so glad you're here, Amy. I've missed you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Does anybody else like to share an experience? Oh, Joan, please.
Well, thank you both. This has been a wonderful experience, and it's nice meeting very nice ladies who have really beautiful hearts as well. So thank you all. I started taking the journey with a dog who had passed, who was always with me. And my dog who was here just got frantic. And she's not a frantic dog. She just got frantic. And I said, okay, you can come too. And then she just laid on my feet and she was fine and came with us. We got to the library, and before Denise said about the mustiness, it like threw me back, and we just had our basement flood, and I thought, oh my God, I thought we did a better job cleaning it than that. But and then you said it, and I was like, oh, thank God. So I was accompanied by a lot of different animals. And one of them that started with a butterfly when I would open a book, and then they would take me to the next animal or next book. When I opened it, it was an animal. And the two messages that came across loud and clear, and a lot of the animals that I encountered were part of my totem. And the message was, reconnect with your totem. They're going to help you. And then the lion came. The lion was there, and he's not part of my totem, but he came, and he actually led me to a couple of different books. But his message to me and to all of us is, he said, save us, connect with your group and save us. So I'm bringing that to the group because you're all very powerful people, and the animals are in trouble right now. So that was mine.
Beautiful. Ooh, Gretchen, I think you're on mute. Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
okay. Well, Joan, it's interesting. The butterfly, the transformation aspect of that came in. And what I was noticing is like a butterfly is actually like two halves, two eights coming together.
Wow.
If you look at that. And I just was like, whoa, I didn't even like really realize the cosmic nature of this butterfly coming in to help guide you and to carry you and to embrace whatever transformations are happening within your life.
Wow.
To be open to it in a very gentle, loving, non-judgmental way. So, yeah.
Beautiful. And so, Joan, it's really interesting too. I love that of the 2 8 side by side. That's beautiful, Gretchen. And I know you're connected to butterfly energy, so I love that came through and you can speak to it. One thing that came through, Joan, with the butterfly too, is the winged beings, and especially the insects. And they carry a lot of that crystalline energy. Think of like a dragonfly's wings, right? It looks like crystal with all the refractal lighting. So part of what you're experiencing and you're holding space for is for yourself and your community and kind of, the collective to go from that carbon-based thinking, existence, body into more of the crystalline energy. And what was really fascinating is how it all ties together, how you got all these pieces, because between the smell, the lion's message, and who you are, it just is this amazing message of they're talking to you about how you can take people and animals in particular into the new timeline. You are the Noah of Noah's Ark. You experienced that flood, right? You're saving the animals, putting on their ark and taking them. So as Gretchen said, those 2 8s side by side, picture them as separate timelines, and you can bring the animal consciousness, the love for animals, all the good, the lessons of the animals who are part of your totem. Literally imagine escorting them into crystalline light, as if you were putting them in the ark and bringing them over. This is part of your work, systematically go through, connect, see what animal consciousness wants to go through, take them through, and capture the messages along the way, because these are things that you can share with them, just as you did for our group. You are an amplifier and an activator for change. So that's why they're looking to you to be that Noah energy to kind of bring them from the carbon into the crystalline.
Wow, thank you.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. I'll do my best.
Yeah, and no flooding. We don't need any more physical flooding. Message came through loud and clear. We're good, universe. We got all the signs.
Thanks, Joan. I love all these beautiful shares. Anybody else?
Let's see, we got a message in the chat.
Yeah, Belinda was talking about that she loves the going within to all that is. And Bonnie says, hi, everyone. My experience was going directly from a field to the opalescent energy and staying in that energy. Zeus joined, then Luna, and 3 of our cats. We were completely surrounded by our collective team for the duration. All of my muscles were warm and tingling through the journey. Thank you both for the beautiful energy and meditation. XO, Bonnie and Zeus. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for sharing that. She must have had to drop off of the call, which is perfectly okay. So it's so wonderful that she shared that
and
with
Bonnie,
us.
one thing that kind of comes through in that is, so the space that you were talking about being in a field and then being in that opalescent energy, what they were showing me, and oh my gosh, it's just tingling so much here in the 6th chakra, is Isis energy, who of course is super connected to, you know, today's date, the pyramids, how Orion's belt is lining up to the Giza pyramid today in particular. And what they showed me, I think it is Isis, who has like a headpiece that looks like kind of wings and then like a circle in the middle. They're showing me that the spot that you went to was the jewel in that circle, that opalescent jewel. She took you right there. And that's where it's like the place to replenish, to learn. It's almost like a womb is what she was showing me. It's like the womb of Isis, where you go to replenish, learn, pick up. And I know you're so connected with her. So that visual just came through so beautifully as you described your experience.
Wow. Well, it's 9:21. Wow. Does anyone else have anything that they want to share before we, I know, get on with our beautiful days? I did want to mention too that today is also World Energy Day. So a lot of magic that's surrounding that and really holding us in that beautiful energy of 8. For the whole experience today, a lot of different events and online things, but just to remember to be aware of your own personal energy today and how that affects your world around you, and everything that goes out comes back in. So I'm just so happy to be here, and I want to really thank Denise for I know Sunny's laughing because Ernie's like, yes, I thank Denise for being here today and sharing in this collaboration with me. We've got Mary Beth is here late. Hi, Mary Beth. We're just getting ready to finish today, but we will be sending the recording out, so you'll be able to get that later. So Denise, did you have anything that you wanted to add before we bid adieu to our mes amis, our friends?
Yes, I wanted to say a couple things. First of all, thank you to you, Gretchen, because without your prompt, this would not have happened. And Joan, I echo you. This is such a beautiful group of individuals, of souls, of animal companions that gathered here together. With all the events going on today, I feel so blessed that I get to start my day with all you and your energy and your vibration and the power of it all. Because as we get together as a group, we amplify each other's energy, and this is a beautiful, beautiful energy to amplify and send out into the world. Think of a pyramid when light goes into it, it refracts out and kind of goes in all directions. That's what we're doing right now, and that's the visual that I'm kind of ending it on for me as I hold the intention in the space, is that of the Giza pyramid, light from the Sirius stars bouncing off our hearts into the pyramid and out into the world. And with that, the intention is that we bring more higher vibration, more of that crystally, sparkly energy we all felt and spoke about, more of that love for nature, passion for the animals, and kind of that teamwork as we go from the 3D carbon base into more of that crystalline, energetic, sparkly life that we're all holding in our hearts. So
Denise, I don't mean to cut you off, but I know that Trish just popped in saying she had.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect.
So if you guys that, it's always like, we're going to end and no, wait. Trish, if you want to share your comments quick, and then I believe Roberta has a comment as well. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just didn't want to create closure and then be like, but wait, there's more.
Well, you know, that'll teach me to do the pyramid where it's focused and then back out.
So Trish, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Denise, it's always good to see you. Gretchen, it's good to meet you. I took Quincy with me, my dog, but it was a very peaceful experience. The time went quickly. I'm a visual person, but it was a very dense energy. I saw no images of anything. I'm not sure, what I experienced. I enjoyed the rhythm of the music. Quincy is here with me, laying beside me, and was here with me the entire time. He is sick right now, and so I was praying for guidance, with his situation. And I'm just wondering it was a very peaceful experience, but I did not feel that anything came through that I could, identify. So Denise, I'm just wondering what you might have to say.
I'm so sorry to hear that Quince isn't feeling so well. You know, I love that little guy. What's going on with him?
I'm not sure. We go back to the vet on Monday. He went in for a chiropractic adjustment a week and a half ago, and the vet noticed that his lymph nodes were swollen, and he's on an antibiotic right now. I'm not sure how well it's working. It could be lymphoma. So it's been very difficult.
Oh, dear one, I can imagine. So part of what he's showing with that is a flushing out, right? That lymphatic system is really about flushing out and releasing. So really allowing things to flow. And so part of what they were showing me is twofold with the meditation. One is that just because you are feeling a little vulnerable and you can't control what's going on with, Quince, even though you want to, as a pet parent, make everything okay and better and know how to fix it, quote unquote. You're feeling a little out of control. So part of that is you not allowing the divine flow to come through because you're like, no, I don't know what will come of it. I'm not controlling it. I'm not in control. The other part of what was coming through with the meditation is that because you're feeling a little vulnerable, it's like you going on a trip to a foreign country. In the beginning, you might not be as open to kind of the big vista and everything that's going on because you want to make sure that you're following the directions, you're turning right on the street you're supposed to. So you're very kind of focused in on the details and watching around you to make sure that you're safe. So that's very understandable, and also we have to keep in mind that with everything going on in this reset period in our communities, in our country, and on our planet, there's a lot of this in-between shifting energy that makes us feel a bit unfounded, ungrounded, kind of on shaky ground. So as an empath and a highly sensitive person, you're picking up on all that. So a lot of what you're processing and you're bringing to the meditation is not yours. So just like with Quincy, imagine energy flowing through you like a waterfall and releasing anything that's not yours and any of that, what ifs, all that good stuff. Just let that flush through, because that's going to help Quincy also flush his lymphatics. And go back on the meditation. Now that you know the lay of the land, quote unquote, it's going to help you, once you go through the meditation again, really kind of see more. So go there not as I'm going to foreign land. Oh, I'm going to this safe, wonderful bubble where I write my own narrative. And bring Quincy next to you and go with the intention that you open up a fairy tale and that you like read him a story, that it's magical, that it's fun. The Akashic realm right now for you is really a healing space for you and Quincy to go and just know that you're safe, almost like, a child in a library with like a cozy blanket. Find these fantastical books, look at the illustrations, and just allow that energy to flow through, because it does feel that whatever's going on with Quincy will pass, that it's just allowing that to flush out. And you hit the nail on the head with the chiropractic alignment. That's the first chakra as well, that safety, security thing. So he's just getting it a little straight, and you're getting it a little straightened out energetically too, because you guys are picking up on a lot of the ungroundedness going on around you and around the community and on the planet. So just know that can flow through you, have that waterfall just kind of wash through you in the shower. That's a great proxy as well. But just know that we love you. We're holding you in our heart. We're holding Quincy in our hearts with a lot of healing. And you two are just two peas in a pod. And he just loves you so much. I mean, he always brings that through at the end, just this big heart love that he has for you.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a very emotional time. I don't even remember the last time I have cried as much as I have. So if it isn't a literal illness that is sitting with him that will not go away, I am breaking through some kind of healing that is huge, because it has just been so emotional. I've never experienced anything quite like this before.
And it feels that way. That's that waterfall, the water flowing, those tears are moving through the energy. So there's rhyme or reason to it. Just know it's not all yours. In fact, what they're saying, 98% is not yours. You're processing it for the others. So it's better for us to do it as crying versus like a flood, like Joan.
Yes.
Allow it to flow through your body. Know that salt water is cleansing. It's also, by the way, what's so beautiful, they're saying it's kisses from the ocean. I know you love the ocean, but it's the salt water kind of caressing your face. So let's reframe the way that you look at the tears. Just know it's a release. You're processing that lymphatic stuff going through, and it's kisses from the waves and the ocean.
Oh, thank you. That's a beautiful visual. Thank you.
So lovely to hear from you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Trish.
Of course. Thank you for doing this today.
Yes. And it looks like, Rebecca, did you still want to share? I know you had your hand up. Trish, just one last thing for you. Just wanted to know that
Sure.
I'm sharing all of my love and good feelings for you. And just to, keep Denise posted on what you find out from the vet. I know that right now it's a very fearful and worrisome time. And just one thing about the tears, you had mentioned you hadn't cried that much. This time, this energy, it brings up stuff, and to allow that to really flow through you, and that Quincy is there like your soft blanket, your teddy bear, to be with that energy and that flow, and you have this partnership right now. And so I'm just sending you all my love for this time that you're falling into right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, Gretchen, you muted yourself. Oh, there you go.
Oops. Rebecca, did you have anything you wanted to share? Are you still with us?
I think she's on mute. Roberta, if you're
Yeah.
speaking, you're on mute.
You're unmuted now.
Roberta, it was a typo, the 2 double T's. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I figured it was Roberta.
Roberta. Okay. I was like, but I wasn't sure. So I wanted to honor whatever your name was. If you came on as Noodle, I'd call you Noodle.
Yeah, we could go with Noodle if you want. Yeah, no, it was very, very lovely. And all my pets came for the adventure. And then it was very interesting. You know, I've been to the Akashic Records before, but this time I found, and I think this whole time right now in terms of the energy is going on is very releasing for me, and just clearing out stuff. So what you were talking about with the other lady in terms of the lymph is very like, I almost felt like I didn't have to say anything because it sounded like almost the same message to me. But what was interesting is I found that there were like, the dogs kept going to different books in the shelves, and there were like these darker books that felt like they needed to have the energy released. So we were going to different books in the bookcase and just opening up and releasing them. And there was like 2 or 3 in the beginning. And then we started seeing books that were more like, and it's not that those other ones didn't have love in them. It was just like there was an energy that had to go. And then the other ones that we started to open up, and then I drifted off somewhere else. I'm not sure where. I'm not meant to know where I was, but I was somewhere else. What was really interesting is at the end, I had been laying on the couch with my dog Max, but Bliss, my older dog, actually hopped up on the couch and she sat there staring at me, and she had her paw on my chest for the last like 5 minutes, and she was like not moving. She was sitting there, you know, totally supporting me through the end of it. So I just thought I would share that. And that wasn't like in my head, that was in my actual physical body. So she was there in spirit, but also in body, which was very lovely.
Wow.
Gretchen, do you have something about that?
No, it just this overwhelming feeling of absolute like love, like to the point of like tears. Just really feeling into your experience and the cleansing, the books, the ability to see that there might be something there that is negative, quote unquote, but you saw it with such love and no judgment, and to remember to turn that back to yourself, right?
Huge.
And not just see it in other things or other people, but that's for you too. So, I just loved what you shared, Roberta.
And so, Roberta, it was so cool as you were talking about the Akashic realm and that it felt different this time. And part of what they're saying is we've come, even in this year, in 2020, so far, and now we have the true vision that we're not allowed entry into the Akashic library because it's a privilege, that we are actually co-authors and librarians there. We spend a lot of time there. We know the books. We write the books that go in there. So what they were saying, and you prompted this, is they've just been caretaking that library for us, but it really belongs to each of us. We belong there. We're not earning the opportunity to go in. And so that was a beautiful distinction that you felt and you spoke to during your experience. With those books in the shelves lighting up, those were timelines of people's stories. So this is part of you as a healer, as an identifier and a healer. Like you can very quickly, to Gretchen's point, see things that need to be smoothed out in timelines and in people's stories. And you're able to do that very quickly and efficiently and effectively. What was coming through as part of the support is lotus healing. Your heart was that lotus opening up, and each of those books are the different petals within the lotus. So it's that reminder that, you know, as you fix other people's, or not fix, that's the wrong word, as you smooth out other people's stories and timelines, you're also opening up your lotus broader and broader. And at the center of that lotus was Tonka. And so Bliss was holding her little paw on your heart, reminding you that Tonka is lotus healing, that you are lotus healing, that all of you guys make up this beautiful lotus flower, and that Max, Tonka, and Bliss each have a different, role to play within it. But together, you guys open up this beautiful blossoming of energy for others, which kind of in turn creates the same effect for yourself. So just, I'm not sure where you are with Lotus Healing, but it's a reminder to keep the work, whether it's under that company name or just on the daily, what you do.
Thank you. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
I just love that Bliss had her little paw in your heart. That's just so touching.
It's so very Bliss.
That was huge.
By the way, the irony is she's such a seer and she is one eye. So ain't it always the way? I just love how the universe brings forward the irony. It's like the blind oracles in Greek mythology.
Exactly, right. Joke's on you. No, kidding. It's like, okay. Well, everyone, we should probably close this portal and say thank you and so much gratitude for everybody being here and sharing their beautiful stories and, the whole rainbow. I feel like it was the whole rainbow, the whole spectrum of energy came together in this cohesive space. There's no accidents. Everything is serendipitous and synchronous. And we were all where we were supposed to be when we needed to. And I just love how it all came together. And I know, Denise, you were going to share kind of this pyramid, the Giza visual of kind of officially closing our circle today.
Yeah, so just bringing in our energy from the Sirius star in through our hearts and amplifying through the Giza pyramid out into the world with all the colors, the spectrum, the sparkly energy. And so just take a moment to see that happen throughout your day. If you get sparked to do it, that's just a great way and a quick visual and a quick portal in of itself to kind of send out that amplified energy from this group and this moment and our animal companions. And so just a friendly reminder that if you don't receive an email from us within the next 24 hours, hopefully within the next couple hours, with the replay link and the link to just the audio meditation, please reach out to either me or Gretchen so we can get that to you. Because whether you're able to join us live or fetch it in the replay, it's going to be powerful. And, one really fun idea would be, we started at 8 a.m. today. If you want to close your evening by doing the meditation at 8 p.m., that seems like a really fun 888 portal as well. So I'm just so grateful to have everyone here. And until next time, happy training, happy journeying, and namaste. Thank you so much, Gretchen, for hosting us and for all of you for being here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So much love to you all.
Bye.